Good evening. This is Everett Triplet from high in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Got a lot of stuff on my mind. We're heading for a lot of trouble. Trouble's on the way. I've already been trying to explain this stuff to a lot of people for a long time. The prophecies in the Bible say that there's a day of great disaster coming suddenly on unsuspecting people. Is that people be busy buying, selling, building, planting, marrying, giving in marriage when, boom, sudden destruction's coming. Well, I know what it is. I know when it is. It's a large army coming. Anyway, there's no time left. We've got no time left. There's no time left for you. We're out of time. Time to prepare. Time to be ready for war. No time left. No time. No time. No time. Those words are ringing in my mind. I know the facts are because Jesus said, when summer's near, it's at the door. We're not very far from summer right now. Putin is going off. I've got stuff to show you on my phone. I've been doing a lot of research, listening to what Putin has to say. And I'm going to tell you right now, he's out of patience. He's tried to do a lot of things. Anyway, I come across this one statement on the phone. I'm going to show it to you. I saved it. It says, if anybody external, if somebody external decides to intervene in Ukraine, if they decide to intervene in Ukraine, creating unacceptable strategic threats for Russia, they should be aware that our response will be lightning fast. We have, he says, we have all the instruments that we need, the kind that people would brag about. But he says, we don't brag about it. We will just utilize them. And this is where it's at. See, we're gearing up and going in to support and help Ukraine. The war is on. It's starting. But what I understand is Putin had a speech with his generals. He tried to tell his generals before they went into Ukraine. I did a lot of research. This is a paper I put together about Putin, and he said they're at our house. They're at the front door of our house now. He said, do they think we don't see the threats, or do they think that we don't that we're helpless? There's nothing we can do about it. He goes, no. This is the whole problem. He said the whole problem is they have nowhere to go. They have nowhere to go, and then he's talking to these generals. See, you see, you can't be the leader of the Russian military commander in chief and have a big military action being planned to go into Ukraine without sitting down and having a talk with these guys. And this is what this is. I saw the program. I can't even go there now. When you try to go watch Russian Insight, where I saw this program, it's blocked. It's a black screen. One little white line across says no longer available in your country. We've been cut off. They don't want us to know what they're saying. But this is what he's saying. He said, we're willing. He says, we have zircon. They don't have it yet. We have zircon. They don't have it yet. And he says right here that he was willing to negotiate within a certain time frame. Well, I'm certain that the time frame that Putin is talking about is over. The time frame that he talked about is the negotiations went nowhere. He didn't get done what he was trying to do. And so So he went into Ukraine because he's in a position of power. He's got the power to, he calls those hypersonic missiles that he's got, he calls them carrier destroyers. Our nuclear powered aircraft carriers require 10 years of construction before they're deployed. They represent the ultimate in mankind's construction capability. I watched a video about them. I go, oh my goodness, they're like 10 stories above the water. They're freaking the largest. They say there's nothing on planet Earth that approaches close to the size and scale of it. And so I know a lot of things that are going on. He has the power to drop all these aircraft carriers, and that's actually in scriptures where it talks about Daniel 7. The bear is told to rise up, devour much flesh. The first beast is the lion with wings of an eagle. Says the eagle's feathers will be pulled out, the wings will be clipped. That's air superiority. We're gonna lose all of our aircrafts could be dropped to the bottom of the ocean in 1 hour. Multiple missiles could strike our carriers and sink them. We're done. We have no air superiority left. Putin understands he's in a position of power, and this power that he's got, there's nothing that can stop him for a while. Within a certain time frame. That's what he's talking about. So we got no time. There's no time left for you to get ready. You're out of time to get ready. Whatever you're going to do to get ready, you better be getting ready and doing it now, because this is it. We're out of time, and this is God's plan, by the way. And it says when summer's near. That's the month. It says no one knows the day or the hour, but it does happen in the middle of the night. And then I found scriptures talking about, and there will be no light from the moon. And so when there's no light from the moon, that means it's during the phase of the new moon. And the phase of the new moon is in May 30th. So it looks like this could be happening within a couple of weeks. And so, yeah, I'm a little bit alarmed about it, because Starry Night. This is a song by Don McLean, who wrote American Pie. But he goes on to say, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen. They did not know how. They would not listen to Putin. They did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now when he goes into the. What you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity. Yeah, I'm about suffering for my sanity. How you tried to set them free. They would not listen. They're not listening still. They're not listening still. Perhaps they never will listen. They're not. No, NATO's not listening. Putin could not get anybody's attention. Nobody will listen to Putin. He got the power to destroy. We lived our whole lives in a world called mutually assured destruction, like a cock-loaded gun at each other's heads, Mexican standoff. Nobody could win. But right now, Putin's got the upper hand. He's got the tools to destroy, and nobody will listen to him. You know what? And he don't screw around. And I got other information where he said in a speech 2014, anybody that tries to cut Russia off from the world will be sure to reap a whirlwind. That's sanctions, which we're doing that to him as well. So this guy's been making very strong threats, telling anybody, if you mess with Russia, you're going to be sorry. And he told them that they're at our front door now. This is the whole problem. He's saying right here, they think we don't see the threats. This is the whole problem in his video. Yeah, this one right here. This is the whole problem. We simply have nowhere else to go. The bear feels trapped. And so he's telling these Russian generals, this is the whole problem. We have nowhere to move on to. In other words, they watched this military actions in Yugoslavia, with Clinton bombing Yugoslavia 78 days in a row, 30-some thousand. They watched George W. attack Iraq, destroy the country, looking for weapons of mass destruction were not found. He says, now they're at the front door of our house. Guess who else says that? Jesus says it in Matthew 24. He says, when you see wars, rumors of wars, these are the beginning of the birth pains. He said, and he says, when you see the branches are tending, the leaves come out on the fig tree, you know summer's near. When you see these things, Jesus said, it's right at the door. Now here's Putin talking to his generals again, and he's saying, we're right at his door. Right at the door of our house. This is not thousands of kilometers away. What they're watching now, he's saying, we've been watching them in Yugoslavia. We watched them in Iraq. We watched them take out Libya, destroy Gaddafi, and kill Saddam, and Afghanistan, Syria, all over. He said, but now they're at the front door of our house. Jesus says that too on the TV. And so there's a lot of indicators that we're out of time. And so you need to have radiation detectors, and you need to have stockpiles of food and water. I actually recommend you have a cistern, and you can get a large, even a 250-gallon tote or a 2,500-gallon big poly tank, and hook up an RV pump to it in case there's no power. There's going to be grid down. And so you want to be stocked up. And you want to be prepared for an EMP where the grid shuts down, the highways are desolate, there's no supplies, there's nobody on the road. And so what you want to do is you want to go out and you want to find something to do with these. You want to take these things and you want to get rid of them. You want to spin them as fast as you can, because these things are not going to have any value pretty soon. They're not going to buy you nothing. So I remember in March of 2020, there were 31 oil tankers out in the San Francisco Bay circling. It cost $100,000 a day. They were full of oil. They had nowhere to dump, nowhere to unload, because they shut down the airports and the highways were desolate. The truckers stopped running. The school buses stopped running. The fuel backed up. They have nowhere to put the fuel. So I tried to buy as much fuel as I could. I got fuel diesel at that time like $1.10 a gallon. But I recently went up to Kaiser, Oregon to a big rally. I loaded up my truck with fuel and took off with my $1.10 a gallon fuel. But on the way back in I-5 along Red Bluff, I put a $100 bill on the counter to buy some fuel. Turn on the pump, and I pumped until it shut off. It shut off. I had 16 gallons. So that 16 gallons 2 years earlier, I was able to buy for $20. Today, that $16, that 16 gallons, it cost me $100. So you need to get rid. Be wise. Don't be crazy, but spend the money. Don't leave the money in a bank or an institution, because when the grid goes down, the ATMs don't work, the cell phones don't work, the internet's down. You're not going to have anything. You want to accumulate possessions on your property, because a military expert also said this, like quite some time back. I heard him make a simple statement. They said they study wars, histories of war. They said every time there's a war, one thing's consistent. The side that always loses, they're the ones whose supplies are cut off. So we're going to be in a war, and you don't want to lose. And what you need to know is you need to have all the supplies you can. Freaking financial resources will allow you to accumulate, and you're out of time. You got no time left. There's no time left for you. Better go stock up and do it immediately. All right, that's it. Talk to you later.